Don't let the Shai's size mislead you by any means. This little ball of sunshine is deadly with her Floran, aka Boomerang. Her Boomerang offers huge AoE damaging skills to quickly annihilate enemies. She also has some of the highest damaging skills. Size doesn't always matter, and in this case, that is true. The best part is, she even rides her Boomerang for a short distance. I'm going to cover all of the Shai's skills, her awesome evasive ability, her badass black spirit skills in this video, as well as I have the outfits and a 2-minute farming session at the end. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If this is your first time on my channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you check out the description down below for additional badass Black Desert mobile content. You won't be disappointed. And with that being said, let's dive right in. Alright, up first, let's take a look at the weapons. Her main hand weapon is called a Floran. I believe when we get it, it's going to be called a Boomerang. And her offhand is called a Bitari. Both of these are exclusive to the Shai class, so if you plan on rocking her, you're going to want to save up some coins for that. For her evasive ability, it's just nasty. She hops on her Boomerang and rides at a short distance. That's just sick. Even if she turns, she kind of like slopes sideways to, follow the curve. It's pretty awesome evasive ability. For her Black Spirit skills, again, the first one is similar to every other class. The second one, as you can see right here, does she throws her Boomerang out and then it comes back to her in a frontal cone. The Shai's full kit, she comes with 5 super armors, which is pretty solid. She has 1 invincibility skill, 5 stuns, and 4 knock-up/knockdowns. She also has 1 knockback and 1 bound. She comes equipped with 3 bleeds, which is 540 damage, and 1 passive heal, which heals for 420 HP in total. The first skill for the Shai is a solid skill for all scenarios. It comes with 1 charge on a 4-second cooldown time. It does 760% damage, but it does have 2 hits, which equals 1,520% damage. It also applies a knockback on successful hit. For its branch damages, you have the choice between Sarat and AAL. And for its sub-skills, it reduces the target's movement speed by 10% and their defensive power by -20. Both of those are for 10 seconds. Because this skill has a high damage per hit at 760%, you want to make sure the first hit can 1-kill mobs when PvE farming. For PvP, this skill is also viable as it offers that knockback with that high damage output. The second skill is another great skill for all situations. It comes with 2 charges on a 6-second cooldown time. It does 1400% damage. You can move while casting the skill. It has super armor but not in the arenas, and you cannot be grabbed while using the skill. And it also applies a stun. For its branch damages, you have the choice between AHIB and AAL. If you hold the skill button in, it does a combo for an additional attack. It does also give you super armor, again, not the arenas. And when you hold the skill button in, it applies a knockdown. For its sub-skills, it also has a bleed of 60 damage every second for 3 seconds and increases your AP by +20 for 10 seconds. With the combo ability on the skill, it makes the skill awesome for mass scale PvP, as it offers a super armor, stun, and knockdown on successful hit. For PvE farming, it's also a great skill as it has a higher damage output. The third skill for the Shai is a nasty skill. Comes with 2 charges on a 7-second cooldown time, does 270 or 60% damage on 7 hits, which is 1,820% damage. You get super armor even in the arenas, and it applies a knock-up on successful hit. For its branch damages, you have the choice between AHIB and Lebrev. And for its sub-skills, this is your passive heal, so it heals you for 60 HP per hit. On 7 hits, that's 420 HP healed. It also reduces the target's movement speed by -10 for 10 seconds. The skill offers huge AoE damage in the radius around her. It also applies super armor, which works in the arenas, and a knockup. This skill is definitely needed for large-scale PvP. For PvE, because of the bigger radius, 2 initial charges, and the damage, I recommend this as a top 4 skill for the Shai. Not to mention, it also has the passive heal. The next skill is important for PvP, whether it's large or small scale. For PvE, it's not recommended. It costs 15 MP per use. You get 1 initial charge with a 6-second cooldown time. It does do 1500% damage, and it applies a knockdown on successful hit. It doesn't have any branch damages. For its sub-skills, it decreases the target's DP by -20 and their movement speed by -10% for 10 seconds, and it applies a bleed of 60 damage every second for 3 seconds. As you can see, the damage on this skill is massive at 1500% all at once. I recommend using this skill for all PvP situations as it offers the knockdown and the high damage output. Because this skill has a slower cooldown time, it only attacks targets in front of her. While the damage is high, it's not advisable for PvE farming. For boss rushes, you could get away with using it. Same scenario for the 5th skill for the Shai. Great for PvP, not advisable for PvE. It costs 20 MP per use, coming with one initial charge on a 7-second cooldown time. It does do 980% damage. You do get super armor and it works in the arenas. And you get a stun on successful hit. It does not have any branch damages tied to it. For its sub-skills, it increases your DP by plus 20 for 10 seconds. And it reduces the target's attack speed by negative 5% for 10 seconds. For large-scale PvP or arenas, this skill is useful. It has medium damage. However, the super armor does work in the arenas and it applies a stun on successful hit. Because of the longer cooldown time and lower damage output, I would not use this skill for PvE. The next skill is an awesome skill for all situations. It does come with one charge on a lengthy 9-second cooldown time. It does 1560% damage and applies a knockdown on successful hit. For its branch damages, you have the choice between Sarat and AAL. For its sub-skills, it reduces the target's movement speed by 10% for 10 seconds. It increases the attack range on the skill by 10%, and it reduces the cooldown time on the skill by 3 seconds, taking it from a 9 to a 6-second cooldown time. Because of the high damage output and the AoE radius on the skill, I recommend using this skill for PvE farming and boss rushes. The downside is the longer cooldown time. However, once leveled up, it does get reduced to 6 seconds. For PvP, I also like this skill because of the high damage AoE output. Combined with the knockdown, you can utilize this skill nicely with comboing in other skills. The 7th skill for the Shai is one of the heaviest hitting skills in the game. It comes with one charge on a 7-second cooldown time. It does 680% damage with a maximum of 3 hits, which is 2040% damage. You get super armor, but not in the arenas, and it applies a stun on successful hit. For its branch damages, you have the choice between Lebrev and Sarat. And for its sub-skills, it increases your DP by plus 20 and your movement speed by 5% for 10 seconds. There is a combo as well. If you press and hold the button in, you get super armor again, but it's not applied in the arena, and it applies an extra hit of 680% damage. That takes this skill to a 2,720% total damage if you hold the skill button in. This skill is one of my favorite skills. Aside from that, it's an awesome overall skill for all scenarios. It's definitely a top 4 skill. If you hold the skill button for that extra combo, it adds an extra hit, making it necessary for PvE farming as well as mass PvP. The only downside is that the super armor is not applied in the arenas. I would still use this skill for arenas as the damage and stun can be used in combos. The 8th skill for the Shai is another huge damage output skill. It comes with one charge on a lengthy 10-second cooldown time. However, it does 360% damage on a maximum of 7 hits, which is 2,520% damage. You get super armor, but not in the arenas. It applies a stun on the first successful hit and a knockdown on the last successful hit. For its branch damages, you have the choice between Ahib and Lebrev. For its sub-skills, it increases your crit rate by 5% for 10 seconds. It reduces the cooldown time on the skill by 2 seconds, taking it from a 10 to an 8-second cooldown time, and you get one extra hit. The skill is just nasty. For PvE, as you can see, it's a top 4 skill, doing massive AoE damage to all targets in range. It also increases your crit rate, and once you level up the skill, it adds that additional attack, taking the skill to astonishing 2,880% total damage on the skill. That's over 100% more than the last skill. She's just going to be insane when released. The 9th skill for the Shai is an awesome, oh shit, get out of dodge skill. Comes with one charge on a 10-second cooldown time. It does 750% damage. You get invincibility while using the skill, and it applies a knockdown on successful hit. For its branch damages, it doesn't have any, and for its sub-skills, it applies a bleed of 60 damage every second for 3 seconds. It reduces the cooldown time on the skill by 2 seconds, taking it from 10 to an 8-second cooldown time, and you get a 5% increased movement speed for 10 seconds. It's great for PvP because of how far back she jumps, and she gets invincibility while using it. I recommend for large and small scale PvP. For PvE, because the skill has a longer cooldown time and a lower damage output, I wouldn't recommend it. Last but not least is the ultimate for the Shai. This skill comes with one charge on a 9-second cooldown time. It does 1,780% damage, and it does apply a stun on successful hit. For its sub-skills, it increases the range of this skill by 10%, increases your AP by plus 20 for 10 seconds, and reduces the cooldown time on the skill by 2 seconds, taking it from a 9 to a 7-second cooldown time. This is going to be another important skill for all scenarios. It offers the high damage output with a stun, so it's great for PvP. It also has an AoE damage skill, so it's great for PvE grinding. The only downside is that it has a longer cooldown time. However, once leveled up, it does shave off those 2 seconds, taking it to a 7-second cooldown time. The heal slash enrage is just like every other heal and enrage. Comes with one charge, 120-second cooldown time. It heals you for 500, increases your AP by plus 50, your Black Spirit Rage 2%, your crit hit rate by 10%, and your evasive skill, all for 30 seconds. Up next is all of the outfits for the Shai that I could find. After the outfits, you're going to find a 2-minute farming session as requested by you guys. That covers everything for the Shai, the skills, the awesome evasive ability. This class just has a lot of high damage output skills compared to other classes. She has a lot over 2,000, where I just did the lawn video and she didn't have 1 over 2,000 for an example. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new, make sure you hit subscribe. And with that being said, I will see you next time.